Guys, I want to go over a few things this week that's been brought to my attention on a few things. First off, y'all know it's Andrew Van with Twilight Dollars. Okay, first thing I do want to say is, okay, I do have a zero tolerance in my groups about people signing people up, getting paid off of them, and just leaving them. I don't think it's right. And if we get 3 complaints on a sponsor that they are not helping their signups, you will be removed out of our groups. We do not want to have to do this. So, please help the people. I mean, I know everybody wants to make money all the time. We all do. But, you've got to help your people. Okay? You need to get them in the groups. You need to help them find the files. If you have to, tag them in each one of the files. I am almost done with the training site, so that will be a little easier to give people. Okay, second thing I'm hearing. Okay, a lot of you are real confused. I hear, I'm not getting anybody. How do you do this? Where do I send them here? Where's my link? Okay, well, first I want to say is, you know, you've got to read the training, guys. Show up for the meetings that I have. Do the training. I see a lot of you, okay, you're signing someone up, and after you've added to the group, they're posting ads already. And my concern is, do you understand everything you're doing? If you don't, then you're not ready to post. I mean, you're not going to know everything right away, but it's very important to read those files. That is part of your training. Okay, and I took a lot of time to make these files for you. I don't get paid to do it. I get no extra money, nothing. I did this to help y'all. When I signed up, I had a wonderful sponsor. She was great. Did she hold my hand with my first sign up? No. She told me to convert it. And I was like, oh wow, really? But I did. And I'm glad she did that. I can't stress enough to y'all that the training is very important. Do the training, because if you're signing someone up and they ask you a question and you don't know how to answer it, well, do you think that person's going to want to sign up with you? No, you don't know enough about it. Learn the offers. That's another thing that is very important. Just because you click on them, it doesn't mean that you're doing the offer. Go to the offers, click on the terms and conditions, see if there are any hidden fees in there, because sometimes there is. So I do stress to y'all, do the training. Right here is all the files. You just click right up there, and there they all are. Also, I do want to say, for any video you want to see that I've made, all you have to do is go to YouTube, type in my name, and all the videos I have made will show up for y'all, that y'all can watch them. And, let me go over why I think this training is also important. Okay, let's just say you have a regular job. Okay, if you don't show up, you're not going to get paid. Same thing here. You've got to do the work. Everybody says, how do you make all the money that you do? And, y'all see me make thousands a week and a month. I apply myself. Nobody's going to do the work for you. You've got to put the work in. I wish I could say you could just, sit in your living room and watch TV all day and, the money's just going to fall in your lap. Well, that's not going to happen. If it does, let me know, because I'll be the first to be on it. You've got to do the training. Like I said, show up for the meetings. Okay? I know a lot of you don't want to read, but you've got to do this, guys. Yes, I'm very successful, but I did my training. I learned what I was doing. This didn't happen overnight for me. And I'm giving y'all all the tools to be successful. Now it's up to you whether you take the tools I give you to your advantage and read them and start making money, because I want to hear you know everyone making money. My goal is to have y'all at least making 100 a week or more for the new people. Older people, you can make a lot of money at this. This is not a scam. This is real, guys. You know that. And also, I do want to say another thing is, when you've got somebody interested, make sure you're putting them in the two recruiters groups. If you do not know how to add people to the group, there is a file in here, right here, where I just did about how to add people to the groups. And there's also a video there that also shows you. Okay, so that's, real important also. And like I said, just you've got to show up, for the meetings. I have them for your advantage. I take time out of my day to do these meetings. And the beginning of June, we're going to get back on schedule with everything. I'm going to have two a week. That is going to be, I'm all signed up. What do I do? Okay, that's going to be twice a week. I am also going to have a prospect meeting, and that's going to be weekly. You've got people that, doesn't understand this, get them on that meeting. We will convert it for you. Now I don't expect y'all to come to every single one of these meetings I have, but I do expect y'all to come to some. Now if an emergency happens, oh, I understand completely. Things happen in life. And usually for the prospect meetings, I do ask for the sponsors to be there. But if you've got something that came up and you just can't make it, shoot me an email, send Sue a message or Linda Overstreet, let us know, and we'll make sure if anyone's there for you that what to do. So that's another thing that I do want y'all to remember, and you may want to make a note of that also. Like I said, this is going to start in June, and they will be weekly. The reason I haven't been having them all the time, I'm working on the training site, trying to get that completed for y'all. And that takes up a whole lot of time. I'm always trying to find something new that can help you guys. And like I said, I want y'all to make money. I want to hear y'all stories, everything. And like I said, my goal is to have y'all making at least, if you're new, $100 or more a week. Okay? All right, with that being said, let's go on to what else I wanted to talk about. Now, I want to talk about, also for the new people, I'm seeing a lot of people getting in Facebook jail. We're all tired of this. Facebook does have their own rules here. They want to make sure people are not a robot. So for the new people or some of the older people, if you're not in Facebook yet, okay, yet or haven't been, okay, there are 5 to-do things that you should do every 10 minutes, okay, and I'm going to go over what you should be doing. All right, so you should be posting to 5 groups, okay, 10 minutes. Wait the whole 10 minutes. Okay, go do something else. Maybe answer some emails. Play a game, whatever, talk to some of your friends. You know, After the 10 minutes, now you want the whole 10 minutes. If it goes to 11 minutes, that's fine. Then go back, and post in 5 more groups. Wait the 10 minutes, do it again. Same thing if you are adding groups, okay? 5 groups for 10 minutes. I know it may take longer to do this, but believe me, this is what's going to keep you out of Facebook jail, okay? Also, interact, on Facebook. And what I mean by that, like you will see everything go to your news feed. Let me kind of show you. And my computer may just take a second. Okay, like someone makes a comment. Okay, go over here and like it. Okay, you know, Facebook is trying to find out if you are a real person and not a robot. But just because you're liking stuff, don't do it fast either. Just do a few, okay? And remember, what I said was 5 things every 10 minutes. Wait the whole 10 minutes. All right, next is if you're not in Facebook yet, okay? Let's say you are in Facebook jail, okay? First thing, you want to make a new account. Now, when you make the new account, Facebook's going to be even stricter. You know, they're on to you, okay? So they're going to really be watching you, okay? So I would kind of, you know, just do things real slow if you're in, you know, Facebook jail, okay? And what I would do if I was in Facebook jail then, okay, you want to do one ad and one group in 10 minutes. Same thing for adding groups. One group every 10 minutes. And I know this sounds like it would take forever, but if it keeps you out of Facebook jail, it's well worth it, believe me, because we've all been there. And I have actually tried this, and it's been working very, very well. Another thing, you know, you can use some other things to advertise. Advertise on Craigslist. You don't just have to do Facebook, okay? And you know what I mean by, you know, posting in the groups? What you would do is, let me find something, because I've got plenty. Let me just open them up real quick. Okay, so let's just go to this one. Okay, so I'm going to open this link in a new tab. Okay, so in other words, I would just post my ad right here, and I would do 5. I don't mean 5 in this group, 5 in 5 different groups. And again, that is if you're not in Facebook jail. If you are in Facebook jail, you know, again, make a new account. Then I would put an ad on one group for every 10 minutes and wait the whole 10 minutes. Okay? And same thing if you're trying to add groups. You know, if you're in Facebook jail, add one group every 10 minutes. And again, like I said, if you're not in Facebook jail right now, you know, you can do 5 every 10 minutes. So again, if your Facebook is okay, do 5 groups, add 5 groups in 10 minutes. Okay? You know, remember the to-dos, the 5 to-do things for every 10 minutes. And again, like I said, if you're in Facebook jail, you want to post in one group or add one group every 10 minutes. Okay? And again, you know, try different things. There's plenty of classified ads that I have in our group that y'all are welcome to use. They're free. You know, Craigslist is great. You get a lot of traffic from there. You know, so that's kind of what I wanted to go over with y'all today. And I'm going to try to do one of these at least weekly for y'all, you know, to keep you up to date. And again, like I said, please help your people, guys. Please. You know, it's real important. You know, do the training. Come to the meetings. Come to the meetings. And again, remember, they're going to start back up June 1st. Okay? And the times will be posted, and I will do the same time every week for that also. All right, guys. Well, you have a great afternoon, and talk to you later.